students. How are you? I hope you are fit and fine. Yesterday we learned that what is federalism. What is federalism? Federalism means more than one level of government. Right now in India, we have local government, state government and central government. Today our topic is parliamentary form of government. I repeat, parliamentary form of government. What is parliamentary form of government? It means the political party that wins the majority seats in election form the government. So please write down our first important point. What is parliamentary form of government? Parliamentary government is a democratic form of government in which the political party that wins the majority seats during the election form the government. For example, right now BJP is our ruling party because it secured majority seats in last Lok Sabha election. Constitution of India guarantees universal adult suffrage. What is universal adult suffrage? It means that the people of India have a direct role in electing their representative, and also every citizen of the country, irrespective of his or her social background, can also contest in election. It means in future you can also contest the election and casting a vote. Is it clear, students? Now our next important point is separation of power. I repeat, separation of power. According to the constitution, there are three organs of government: legislature, executive and judiciary. So what is legislature? Legislature means our elected representative. It means our elected representative. For example, MPs and MLAs. So please write down, legislature refers to our elected representative. Example, MLAs and MPs. What is executive? Executive is a smaller group of people who are responsible for implementing laws and running the government. For example, our ministers and government officers. What is judiciary? Judiciary refers to our courts like Supreme Courts and High Courts. So please write down, judiciary refers to the system of courts in this country. Example, High Court and Supreme Court. In order to prevent the misuse of power by any branch of government, the Constitution says that each of these organs should exercise different power. It's called separation of power. Now it's clear, students? Here I show you one video for our election process, which is very important.
India, a subcontinent rich in culture, history, contrasts, and diversity. Nearly 24 official languages, 6 main religions, and a lot of people. 1.3 billion, more than 17% of the world's population, all living on 1/3 the area of the United States. And every 5 years, India puts on what is often described as the greatest show on earth.
I love my India.
No, it's not a Bollywood movie. It's India's general election. In the upcoming 2019 election, nearly 900 million Indians 18 years and older will be eligible to vote. That's more ballots cast than the last 7 US presidential elections combined. In India's 2014 election, there were more than 8,000 candidates from over 450 political parties vying for only 543 seats in the lower house of parliament. This is known as the Lok Sabha, or the House of the People. An additional 2 seats are nominated by the president from the Anglo-Indian community, or those of mixed Indian and European descent. When you break down the numbers, it means on average, each MP represents 1.5 million voters. Compare that to the much smaller population in the UK, which has 650 seats in parliament, meaning each MP represents about 72,000 registered voters. We'll be using this map, which shows where voting takes place in India's 29 states and 7 union territories. The constituencies are based on how populated the region is. The bigger the state, the more seats it has. For example, Uttar Pradesh, India's most populated state with 228.9 million people, has 80 constituencies. In fact, UP has an even higher population than all of Brazil. India's federal electoral model follows a first-past-the-post system, and whichever party wins the majority of seats gets to choose the prime minister. So setting aside the quality of India's democracy and the 7 union territories. The constituencies are based on how populated the region. Setting aside the quality of India's democracy and the arguments about misrepresentation in a country marred with social, economic, and political issues, how is such a massive election logistically organized? Enter the Election Commission of India. Under India's constitution, the independent body is given absolute power to supervise, direct, control, and conduct the process.
We work on the principle of Murphy's Law, that anything which can go wrong will go wrong, and we have to be prepared for it. So that's why we have, as I said, Plan B, C, and D. So we have been doing it for the last 70 years.
India's democracy came into existence in 1951, with its first general election allowing every citizen, regardless of gender, class, religion, occupation, wealth, or level of literacy, to vote.
The poor people and illiterate people, they're also people, and they're equal citizens. So that's why we decided from day one that we will not leave any single person out.
Election arrangements begin a year in advance, updating the electoral rolls, preparing the 3.6 million electronic voting machines, and hiring 11 million government workers to take on election duty, including 2.5 million security personnel.
The people staffing the polling booth tend to be civil servants employed in other jobs. So, it could be a teacher, it could be a mailman, it could be someone from, the state bureaucracy. And during the elections, all of these people are taking a leave from their work and are being reassigned for a few days to staffing a polling booth.
And setting up the 1 million voting booths is no easy feat. According to election guidelines, there must be a polling station no farther than 2 kilometers of every voter across the country, from the mountain villages of Himachal Pradesh, the deserts of Rajasthan, to the beach towns of Kerala, the rainforests of Assam, and everything in between, which means all modes of transportation, including elephants, camels, boats, and planes, are deployed to reach even the most remote areas of the country. In fact, a polling booth is set up in the middle of a dense, isolated jungle in Gujarat every election year, so a sole voter, a temple priest, can contribute to his country's political process. This helps with voter turnout. In 2014, it was over 66%. In India, there's no election day. Instead, it's an election month. Voting takes place in multiple phases across the regions. This allows for election and security resources to move around the country and gives the Commission better control of what's going on at each polling station. Security issues like physical threats and bribes are just some of the challenges the Commission faces during the elections.
Whether we're talking about the beginning.
Okay students, I hope all the points are clear in your mind. Okay, bye.